This is Phil Woolery with the Walnut Council, and today I'm going to talk to you about some of the management we've been doing on one of our properties. This property was donated by one of our longtime members, and to continue his legacy of land management, the Walnut Council, which is concerned with the care and management of fine hardwoods like walnut and oak, among others, is continuing the management of this property. So it's about 30 or 40 acres in size, and it's got some large walnuts and some oak trees on it as well. It's a range of size from very large 30-inch trees to some young trees as well. So some of the activities that we have been doing on this property include invasive species management, keeping those under control. We've also been, on some of the younger stands, we've been doing some thinning to provide adequate growing space so these trees have a good growth rate and maintain their health and vigor. And also, one thing that we've been doing today is planting trees. So there was a harvest here several years ago, and there are spots that we're not seeing adequate regeneration of the species that we would like. So oaks and walnuts, name some. So what we've done is kind of cleared out some of the invasive species and undergrowth, and we've planted trees. So part of the Walnut Council's goal is educational. So we didn't just plant trees, we planted some different types of trees and seeing which ones work best. So we've got some trees from the Wisconsin DNR nursery, so from Wisconsin seed sources. But we also got some walnut from that are a product of the Hardwood Tree Improvement Regeneration Center, and that is a partnership with Purdue University and Forest Service, and they've been working for years on finding the best black walnut that grows the best, grows the straightest. They find those individuals, test them, make sure that they are the best, and so they've planted them together and collecting seeds from those. So those seeds should be superior, should have better growth rate, better form. So we've planted both those sources from the HTRC and the Wisconsin DNR, and we've got them tagged. We're gonna mark them. So we've tried to put these trees in areas where there's kind of empty spots here. You can see there's no big trees around there, and so they'll have more sunlight and have better growth. If they're underneath the canopy of a larger tree, they're probably not going to do so well. So some of these are in that situation, so we might have some time in the future have to make some more sunlight for them, whether that be from taking out some undesirable species or form. We've got a tree that's over there that's not very pretty. We've got some hackberries, some cherries, some elm in here that doesn't provide a whole lot of benefits for wildlife or economics. So we'll see how that goes and maybe do some of those things later. So here you can see we have one of our walnut seedlings planted. These are just 1-year-old seedling here, so it's about a foot tall, but nice good diameter on it. And so with that yellow tag you see there, that indicates this is one of the HTRC timber select trees. And you notice we have a cage around it. With high deer populations, the deer will find these trees and eat them. So this is why we have these cages on there to protect them. So another thing we're looking at is comparing those cages that you just saw with these tree tubes. So these are plastic tubes that we put inside of the tree and held up, and we're going to see if we see a difference in growth between those two. So we've got trees from Wisconsin with those red tags there, and we've got also between those tree tubes and the cages. So we're going to kind of compare the growth and see if we notice any differences on there. And so eventually the trees are going to grow up through that tube, protected. They can't be browsed on by anything. Deer, and then when they come out the top, I guess there's a little bit. These are 4 foot, so they'll have to leap up to get above generally about 5 or 6 foot. When the top is, we say it's safe from the deer. So we might have to come and make some adjustments, and we'll see how it goes when the trees start getting above the tube. But that's something we'll watch, and we can update on that. So in this area, we planted oaks. So we kind of wanted to keep them a little separate because walnuts will they have pretty high growth rates. Keep them, especially compared with oaks, which kind of, when they start out, are a little slower, but they can speed up. So we wanted to keep them separate. If they're right next to each other, the walnuts would overtop the oaks and it would be kind of worthless. So we're trying to keep them a little bit separate. So around here we've got planted northern red oak and also some white oak in there as well. So and we're here, we just have trees from Wisconsin DNR. The oaks were just from there, but we're comparing, looking at cages and the tubes on those. So we'll see those. And this area here is more open, so we don't have a lot of big trees. So a good opportunity for getting some of these oaks, which are very valuable for wildlife. Their acorns and the other insects they support are important for a lot of different wildlife species. So it's important to have those on the landscape as well. So here's an example of some thinning we've done. So these are younger trees that have been planted, and once they get a certain size, they start competing with each other, and they'll tend to slow down in growth and lose vigor. And so if you let nature take its course, eventually some of these trees are going to die out, and we'll be left with just fewer trees, and they'll grow to be larger. It takes longer time, and you don't get to make the choices on that. So with thinning these out, we can go through and pick the best ones, the straightest ones, the bigger ones, and we can be more intentional about it to find the best trees. So it might look like right now we took out a lot, but it's kind of hard to see with no leaves on. But looking at the crowns, those were close together. When those crowns start touching, we're having a lot of competition for light. And by opening that up, we give them more resources so they can grow faster. And so that can do a lot of different goals for us. So we'll improve the economics of this stand by having grow faster. And also we can improve it for wildlife too. With thinning, we can increase the amount of understory growth with more sunlight getting there. And also the larger trees will, if we talk about oaks, larger trees are going to produce more nuts as opposed to smaller ones that are crowded. So with thinning, we can achieve a lot of different objectives. So we had a lot of our members come out and volunteer their time to get those trees planted. We had about close to 200 trees put in the ground here today. So that was great. We had a good time getting that work done. So be on the lookout for more videos from us in the future about forestry and fine hardwoods, some practical videos about how to and why we do certain things in forestry. So check those out, and if you want more information about the Walnut Council, you can check out our website at www.walnutcouncil.org. I'll see you in the next video.